Stars. They're just like us. Or not. They fly on private jets. They make a cool meal for a single Instagram post. And they can't hold a relationship together because the stars in the sky just didn't align. Astrology. Am I right? If you were a tween in the early aughts, then Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart's split definitely broke your heart. According to The Mirror, the couple met in 2008 on Twilight, and for years they denied their relationship despite ample photographic evidence. Stewart finally admitted that they were together by Breaking Dawn, but it also marked the beginning of the end. They officially split when Stewart was caught cheating with her married Snow White and the Huntsman director, Rupert Sanders. But according to the astrological stars, these two were never meant to be in the first place. Stewart is an Aries, while Pattinson is a Taurus, and their relationship may have been marred by the stubbornness of their signs. That, and these two sun signs can be frequently out of sync.
There was nothing I could do.
You know what they say though, opposites attract. And that chemistry paid off while they were shooting Twilight. As Kay Stu told The New Yorker in 2021, "We were young and stupid. That's what anybody playing those parts needed to feel." Kylie Jenner and her ex Tyga were also just too different to work. For starters, the pair began dating in 2014 when Kylie was just 17, and Tyga was a 24-year-old dad. But by 2017, they had called it quits for good. Kylie explained on her show, Life of Kylie, "There was absolutely not one thing wrong with me and Tyga. Him and I will always, always have a bond. There was no crazy fight. I don't want to look back in 5 years from now and feel like he took something from me when he's really not that type of person."
I want to pretend like it just never happened. That part of my life is really hard for me to open up about.
But Kylie wasn't just younger than Tyga. If you buy into the stars above, she was also just too different from him. Kylie, as a Leo, is fire, and Tyga, being a Scorpio, is water. These elements just don't mesh. Leos are also energetic and love attention, while Scorpios are quiet and serious. Whatever the reason, these two opposites aren't orbiting each other anymore. As Kylie told Andy Cohen in 2021, "We're not friends, but I always wish him well. I have no bad feelings toward him." Next up is Lady Gaga and her former fiancé Taylor Kinney. The ill-fated duo first crossed paths while shooting the music video for Gaga's You and I. They seriously dated for half a decade, all while Gaga's celebrity continued to rise.
We complement one another. I guess it is a strange pairing, but we're fine. We're happy.
It goes without saying that Gaga is a busy entertainer, and that's reportedly why they couldn't make it work in the end. Gaga wrote on Instagram in 2016, "We are both ambitious artists, hoping to work through long distance and complicated schedules to continue the simple love we have always shared. Please root us on. We're just like everybody else, and we really love each other." If the couple were truly meant to be, then surely they would have been able to work through some scheduling issues. But a quick peek at their charts reveals another side to the story. Gaga is an Aries, meaning she's fiery and loud. And Kinney is a Cancer, a deeply emotional water sign. Fire and water are opposites, and Aries' fun-loving nature may rub Cancer's security-loving self the wrong way when it comes to trust issues. Speaking of opposites, there once was the husband and wife team of Katy Perry and Russell Brand. Back in 2011, they were the hottest married couple in town for all of a year, and their split was especially nasty, with Brand kicking off the divorce via text.
You have some not so happy news, the divorce of Katy Perry. What happened there?
Apparently, Perry's strong personality was ultimately too much for Brand. Perry explained to Vogue in 2013, "At first, when I met him, he wanted an equal, but he didn't like the atmosphere of me being the boss on tour, so that was really hurtful, and it was very controlling, which was upsetting." And that's where astrology comes in. Perry is a Scorpio, often considered one of the most powerful signs in the zodiac, according to Bustle. And when it comes to Brand, he has a sun in the much less serious Gemini. As astrologer, Clarice Monahan told Bustle, "Though this can generate an exciting chemistry, the relationship might not be very stable and may swing between extreme highs and lows. This is not an easy match. It's tricky, but it's definitely exciting." If you weren't surprised when Kim Kardashian and Kanye West filed for divorce in February 2021, neither were the celestial planets. According to astrology, they were never meant to be a forever sort of thing. Still, that doesn't mean they weren't destined to get together in the first place, because apparently they were. Kim's Pisces moon, Libra sun, and Sagittarius rising made her extremely compatible with Kanye's Pisces moon, Gemini sun, and Cancer rising. According to Lisa Stardust, an astrologer for InStyle, the couple were destined to fall in love because they had something to teach one another. What exactly they learned is up for debate.
I know you can't wait until then, but in 4 years, I can go to court for you.
Astrology does tell us, though, that the pair would split on friendly terms. Though season 20 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians was full of Kim admitting that her marriage wasn't working, these days she's more than moved on. As for her astrological compatibility with rebound Pete Davidson, that's another question entirely. According to Bustle, it appears the two don't have a ton in common in terms of their charts. Taylor Swift has many famous exes, but in late 2021, the one on everyone's mind was Jake Gyllenhaal. That was thanks to the re-release of Swift's landmark album, Red, which was rumored to be about their ill-fated twin fire sign connection. The two are both Sagittarius, and their relationship was as hot as the sign itself. Nodding to the time Gyllenhaal flew Swift from New York to London for a last-minute date, InStyle noted, "Get two Sagittarians together, and they better have up-to-date passports and plenty of disposable income for travel." But that's pretty much where the good times stopped. According to the new 10-minute version of All Too Well, Gyllenhaal called off the relationship due to the large age gap between himself and Swift. But based on other lines in the song, it seems like the real issue was that Gyllenhaal was just too much of a Sagittarius to commit to anything serious. Now we come to one of the biggest breakups of the past 20 years. Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt. Once upon a time in Hollywood, the duo was Tinseltown's it couple. Aniston, the star of one of the most popular sitcoms ever, was America's sweetheart. And Pitt was a serious actor who landed on the sexiest man alive list more than once.
Look at her standing there with those yams. My two greatest enemies, Ross. Rachel Green and complex carbohydrates.
The relationship seemed like a match made in Hollywood heaven, and it came to a spectacular, explosive end when they divorced amid rumors that Pitt had stepped out with his Mr. and Mrs. Smith co-star, Angelina Jolie. The gossip was true, and Pitt and Jolie soon married and started a family. But by 2016, they were divorced. Then, in 2021, Pitt and Aniston were photographed chatting backstage at the SAG Awards. Fans were hopeful they might rekindle their romance. But according to astrologists, that's never gonna happen. When it comes down to it, Aniston is an Aquarius, and Pitt is a Sagittarius. Two fundamentally different sun signs. According to The Sun, those signs make great friends, but terrible lovers. Pitt has a fun-loving, impulsive nature, which clashes with Aniston's intellectual leanings and private way of life. Long story short, don't hold your breath for a Ross and Rachel-style ending from these two, but chances are they'll always be friends. We probably don't have to tell you how bad Princess Diana and Prince Charles were for each other. Some blame it on Charles's love for Camilla Parker Bowles, and others blame it on the royal family's treatment of a young Diana. But ultimately, with a glance at their birth charts, these two had no business getting together in the first place. Diana and Charles were a Scorpio-Cancer pairing, and that's where the real trouble began. As things with Charles deteriorated, Diana herself reportedly reached out to an expert. Astrologer Debbie Frank, who consulted with the princess, explained via Town & Country, Charles was a very different person from Diana. Charles's moon is very stubborn, it's very fixed, it's very unchanging, whereas Diana had a moon in Aquarius, which is very people-oriented, someone who wants to move with the times. You know how this story ends. Diana and Charles split in the dramatic way that only two overly emotional water signs could. Diana went on to become a fashion icon, and Charles found a more compatible Cancer in his longtime love, Camilla. There are couples that are too different to work, and then there are some who are just too similar. Enter Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez. From the jump, A-Rod and J-Lo had a ton in common. They both love Miami, are used to life in the spotlight, and are native New Yorkers. Most importantly, though, they're both Leos. As Lopez once gushed to Vanity Fair, I understand him in a way that I don't think anyone else could, and he understands me in a way that no one else could ever.
We're alike, but except I can't sing, dance, act, and I don't look like her. Besides that, we're twins.
But as experts see it, the pair were just too alike to make it work. According to InStyle, the most important thing in a Leo-Leo relationship is honesty, and that's where the couple fell short. According to a source for People, Lopez felt she couldn't completely trust Rodriguez anymore. Though the source was adamant that cheating wasn't an issue, the pair was plagued by reports of Rodriguez's phone calls with actor Madison LaCroix for months leading up to the split. Luckily for J-Lo, she bounced back with another Leo, her ex Ben Affleck. Astrologer Courtney Perkins told InStyle, "A queen needs a king. The only person who can take on a dramatic Leo is an even more dramatic Leo." It's common knowledge that Khloe Kardashian hasn't been lucky in love, but according to Keeping Up with the Kardashians, she had finally met her match in NBA player Lamar Odom. The Cancer-Scorpio pair announced their engagement in 2009, a mere month after their first date, but by 2013, Odom was caught bragging about cheating on Khloe. According to TMZ, the Kardashian-Jenners and fans around the world were devastated on Khloe's behalf. But according to astrological experts, no one should have been surprised at all.
Marriage ain't easy, honey, child.
It's not.
Scorpio and Cancer are both water signs, and they're both comfortable expressing their emotions. But that bond is reportedly so strong that once it's broken, it's over. According to experts, as soon as Odom cheated, there was little to no chance that Khloe would ever take him back. Khloe, as a Cancer, has trouble moving on once she's been hurt. And as soon as a relationship turns toxic, Odom's Scorpio gets jealous and suspicious. In the end, this split wasn't just written in the stars, it was also for the best. When we think of whirlwind Hollywood romances, Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande's quickie engagement is pretty high on the list. The duo met when Grande hosted SNL back in 2016, and within weeks, Davidson had dumped his then-girlfriend, Cassie David, via text, and was soon spotted all over New York City making out with Grande and posing for the Paps. They quickly got engaged for all of 5 months. So why didn't it work? You guessed it, another Scorpio-Cancer match. Astrologer Courtney Perkins told InStyle, "Cancer and Scorpio can be an amazing match because it's so passionate. They're extremely intuitive and tend to thrive on assured commitment. Two water signs together guarantee a deep emotional bond, but also sometimes drown when things get too intense without a foundation to fall back on."
You know, it's like any other breakup. You have your boys over, they all lie to you, you know? They're like, "Dude, no problem, bro. Nobody even knows who she is."
Evidently, the problem was that they got way too serious way too fast. They zoomed past some of the red flags that accompany Scorpio-Cancer pairings. Noting the 8 tattoos Davidson got of Grande during their short romance, Perkins explained, Cancer can be clingy and temperamental. Scorpio is prone to bouts of jealousy and possessiveness. I think it's safe to say they had a draining few months. The public was shocked when Bill and Melinda Gates announced their divorce in May 2021. Still, it wasn't a surprise to astrologers. Melinda is a Leo, while Bill is a Scorpio. Leo is fire and Scorpio is water. Sure, opposites attract, but the stars were perfectly aligned for the couple to call it quits exactly when they did. Shortly after, astrologer Francesca Audi told Express, "Bill Gates is a Scorpio, and we just had that big full moon in Scorpio. It's when we expected surprises, endings, relationship patterns. So it's really interesting that this full moon was on his sun, and his marriage is ending."
It's chaos.
Of course, news broke that Bill had cheated on Melinda and had been investigated by his own company for his dalliances with an employee, according to the Washington Post. That would be a lot for any spouse to handle, but Melinda's Leo sun makes her very proud and therefore very easily embarrassed. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite celebrity couples are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.